Okay, so it's the 21st of September. It's 9:02 in the morning. I'm just out for a ride. It is Sunday morning, so I thought we'd follow Broadway south and then come back. But we'll see. The reason I say that is because even though I had this the battery here plugged in all night, I thought, apparently it did not charge. So I finished yesterday with 3 battery markers, and I have 3 battery markers. So yeah. Out of the way, goose. So there's a couple of things that might have happened. A, maybe I didn't seat the plug well enough. B, what would B be? Oh, maybe the charging plug was not plugged into the wall. Or C, the battery's starting to go and not take a charge, which would be very disappointing because I just bought this bike. Sorry, I'm going so slow. I don't have pedal assist on. Since I don't have pedal assist on, I was trying to take it as easy as I can. Oh, but there's some uphill spots here, and I know the phone I'm using to record, and I'm in ultra wide view, so I know you guys can't see the mountains, but dang, I love days like this. The air is so clear. It must be what it was like 100 years ago, where the mountains look like you could reach out and touch them. There's no haze. There's no exhaust fumes. There's nothing. It's so pretty. Then we'll go this way because I think there's a way up that we'll take here in a little bit. But yeah, love days like this. And since I only have about half, maybe even less than half my battery, it would be very nice if the motor on this thing was recharging right there where I was going downhill and I wasn't pedaling. That would have been cool. So here's that seating thing, that little boardwalk viewpoint, which is interesting because it's there. It's next to the river, which is nice. But then across the river is just that ugly office building. So you're not like getting a great view. It's not like you're overlooking the river, a valley, and the mountains. You're overlooking the river and then that office building. So, bugs. I was kind of hoping they wouldn't be out. If they were so bad in the evenings, maybe they wouldn't be out here this early. And I was way wrong. Oops. I can feel my leg muscles kicking in. Oops. Well, hello, puppy. What's up? Hi. Yeah, he was not paying attention to me. He was watching that dude that was walking. So funny story. It's Sunday. I woke up this morning and I just kind of laid around for a little bit. I was trying to, maximize any sleeping options I had, which is, what I do on Sunday mornings. And naturally, I couldn't sleep anymore because, the universe doesn't like me very much. So I went ahead and got up and said, you know what, screw it. because of all my appointments and stuff this week, I've barely had a chance to make breakfast, so I decided to make breakfast. Just a couple sausages and a couple of eggs with cheese. Easy peasy, right? So I start cooking. I cook with stainless steel. I start cooking. I turn the heat up on the cooker. And this is what works for me. May not work for everybody, but this is what has worked flawlessly for me. Stainless steel is very, very sensitive. It is sensitive to temperature. And you got to know, there is a learning curve. But once you get the learning curve, everything is smooth and works out wonderfully. So typically what they say is you got to heat it up to a certain degree. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's basically where you get to the light and frost effect. And I still do that to this day. I'm cooking with stainless steel for 5 years, 6 years. I still use the light and frost effect to this day to make sure my pan's hot enough. So I test the pan's perfectly hot. All right, cool. So then I go ahead and throw oil in there because, you know, oil. I've already sliced up the sausages and I always cook my sausage first. So then I can use the sausage grease to cook the eggs and it adds more flavor. Whew. So I'm going uphill and my legs are feeling it. Somebody threw a hat away. Like a straw cowboy hat thing. I was wondering if it was one of those. Sorry, this is pretty steep. Whew. But whew. That definitely let me know it was there. So I throw the oil in, and I'm just using Evo or Evu, and I go ahead and decide to, I throw the oil in there and it starts smoking real bad, and I'm like, oh crap. This is where I made my mistake. Oh, and there's something happened before this. Oh, so I was using the light and frost effect, and when it's working, you have water droplets bouncing around the inside of the pan. They're not hopping and skipping, but they're rolling around, like what are they called? BBs on a smooth surface. So I get down to like the very last little water droplet, and it is about the size of a BB. And I don't want to throw oil in there with the water droplet still in there, so I grab a dish towel right next to me, and I just reach in there and grab the water droplet real quick. Problem is, pan was so hot that it burnt the dish towel, which then left a, what do you call it? We'll go straight. Actually, we'll start recording, right? Well, I already started recording, never mind. But there's the rhino. We can go right around it. See, it's the litter that I hate. Looks like you can rock crawl on it. I can't rock crawl on anything, so that's not going to happen. But yeah, so I left some melted, I'm assuming nylon, on my stainless steel pan, which I wasn't happy about because it's a pain in the ass to get off. I got a lot of it off, but I can still, you can't see it anymore, but when I rub my finger on it, you can feel it. But yeah, so then I throw the oil in, the oil starts burning. I'm like, oh crap. Like it's smoking really bad. And I'm like, I gotta throw the sausage in there real quick to cool the pan down. And when I throw the sausage in, that's when I realize, oops, I left the heat too high. So what usually works for me with stainless steel cooking is I'll I was going around for them and they were turning for me. I get it up to the proper heat, which is light and frost effect. And my particular pan on my particular cooktop, it is about 245 degrees. Or at least that's what the cooktop says when I get perfect light and frost. Like I said, on my pan with my cooktop, get it there, put the oil in, and then I usually turn the heat down a scotch. On an analog, it might be 1 or 2 tick marks. On my cooktop, I turn it down to about 220 or 225. That seems to be the sweet spot for cooking for me. I forgot to do that part. So I throw the meat on there. The meat just starts smoking too. And I'm like, oh man, this is terrible. And then the smoke detector goes off. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I was always worried about that because, I've set smoke detectors off before. And I'm sitting there wondering, because this is an apartment, if it's automatically hooked to the fire department. Like, are they just going to show up, waste their time and effort to come in to find out that, the problem is the guy in the kitchen was an idiot. So I'm sitting there freaking out that the fire department's going to show up at any second. It does not, which is great. But still. Then I cook my sausages. They cook fine. Once after I turned everything down, sausages start cooking fine. And then, I'm going to go up the other side. Right here. And then I cook the eggs, because while the sausage is cooking, then I prep the eggs. Go ahead and get the sausage out, throw the eggs in there, a little bit of butter for flavor, and we call it a day. I just put it in pedal assist 1, just because we're going uphill, and this is a much further uphill than the last one. I can still feel my legs burning. And in fact, maybe not after this ride. Well, maybe not in the middle of this ride, but after this ride, I'll adjust the seat, because I think it's slid down a little bit. Whew. So yeah, fire department never showed up, which was great. Food was delicious, which was also great. Because I'm staying in a temporary place, I didn't bring any of my pan cleaning stuff. Just using, there's a van lifer down there. Yep. I'm assuming he's, has a storage unit place. I'm assuming he has a storage unit there. Whew. But he had the solar panels and everything. And he was parked in the shade like he was just, sleeping in. Whew. But, so I can still feel some of the caked on nylon. You can't see it anymore, but with my finger, I rubbed it over. You can still feel it a little bit, so I don't have any of my scrub pads or any of my pan cleaning stuff to get it clean. Oh God, and I don't want to have to drive out to my storage unit, which is like 30 miles away from here, just to get, this is the problem I have, is my storage unit's 30 miles from here. It's in Elizabeth, if anybody watching knows where Elizabeth is. But, to drive all the way out there to grab pan cleaner and drive back, that'd be, $8 in gas alone. And I can go to the store nearby and get the same cleaner for like $4. It's like, it's annoying because I don't want to have to buy more when I already have, but I don't have with me. And just buying more just seems like a waste. So, the little guy says it's safe to cross, so we're just going to go this way until it's not safe, and then we'll go west. Or east, sorry. the Cherry Cricket. So yeah, there's a Broncos game this afternoon. I don't know if they're playing in town or not. The only reason I know it's a Broncos game is because people were talking about it yesterday. I don't watch sports, so I don't care one bit. Oh man. Oh. Hey puppy. I took a okay. As soon as I stop it turns. I took a supplement before I came out for this ride. Apparently I didn't drink enough water because the capsule just disintegrated and I just got powder all up my esophagus and into my throat. Yeah. Oh, the bicycle rack, or the bicycle thing's on the other side. All right, well, let's cross. After that cop yesterday yelled at me for being on the sidewalk, I kind of don't want to be on the sidewalk any more than I have to, even though those sidewalks are as wide as car lanes. But yeah, this is Coors Stadium. This is where the baseball team plays. There's people in baseball gear. Maybe the baseball's playing today too. I thought they were already at the end of the season because Rockies definitely aren't going to whatchamacallit today. Rockies definitely aren't going to the playoffs, but whatever. Oh yeah, in yesterday's video I mentioned needing to go to whatchamacallit. So none of these are safe to go. Okay. I was looking for the little crossing guy to tell me if it's okay to go. Little crossing guy was nowhere to be seen. But oh, sorry, I still got the taste of that supplement in my mouth. It's the reason they put them in capsules. So we're just gonna keep going this way for now. No cars are coming, so we'll get over here. Since technically we're on a bicycle, we should be going with traffic, not against it, when there's no bicycle lane. But yeah, I gotta figure out something to do this afternoon while the Broncos are doing their thing. Normally it's, you know, people like me who go to the store or run errands or do whatever, so we don't have to deal with crowds. Hey puppy. But I don't need to go to the store or anything. I guess I need to go get cleaning stuff. I'm hoping I can get away with just like a little scrub pad or something, like a green pad or a blue pad. Blue pads are typically what I use on my stainless steel because they're still abrasive enough to... Oh wait, I'm not going with traffic. I'm going against traffic. This is what happens when I don't get enough sleep. Oops. I was just trying to get over to Broadway. 20th Street Gymnasium, 1908. Another historic building. No cars are coming. Yeah, this is the kind of day I'm gonna have, apparently. Well, I can't think anything through, and yeah, I don't like days like this because I really like, you know, being able to consider everything all at once, which is how I usually think. It's like everything I'm considering, like all possibilities pop into my head all at once, and I just go through and discard the outlandish ones, consider the less outlandish ones, and usually settle on something that's a little bit more akin to Occam's razor. But sometimes you got to be open-minded. All right, so these guys are going, so we'll go this way. Wow, I keep going opposite of flow, huh? And I'm between the two courthouses here. To the right is United States Courthouse. To the left is Federal Courthouse building. So, yeah. Denver's a city. Still don't see the... Oh, I guess I could have gone down to the 16th Street Mall. Oh well. And I'm down to 2 battery ticks now. Is that bus stopping or... Okay. Here's a church that is surrounded by a building. Here's the building that surrounds the church. There's the church. There's the building. Oops, and here's some steps. Oh, man. But yeah, normally I think very quickly because I just have all the possibilities out there, whether they make sense or not. And then I was kind of hoping, I don't see one of the, oh, it's already going, so I'll just, gonna say I don't see one of the button things, but it's already counting down. We're gonna go ahead and just do that. Bus only. I guess I could have gone down that way a little bit. Matter of fact, let's do that. I don't think we've ever done that before. So we're just gonna turn around right here. Oh, dead bird. Did it die of old age or did it die of living in the city? Not that living in the city is deadly or anything, but because of the cars, there's still the opportunity for like a lot of smog and stuff like that, and that can affect the bird's lungs. Alright, so we're in a bike lane, we're going this way. I guess we can go down to Spear from here. Problem is, maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll run down here to Spear, head back, because I'm already at 5 miles, so assume 5 miles back. And then I can put the bike on a charger and hopefully actually charge it this time. And then when the Broncos are playing later, I can ride again. Does that make sense? I think that's a plan. Oh. So, but we will still go down here to 6th. Oh, what's this? This is new. I don't know what this is about. Oh, they're just shutting off the street here. Okay. There's a big thing. There's also a big thing. Hello? Hello? I mean, that's kind of cool. This is the 16th Street Mall. No buses, no cars, no nothing. There's the Coyote Ugly I pointed out yesterday. This is called the Denver Pavilions. Just a bunch of, it's like an outdoor mall. A bunch of little stores and stuff. A couple of restaurants, things like that. I don't shop here, but that's me. It's more of a tourist place than anything. And if you work downtown and don't have time to stop at the store on the way home type place. Alright, so we're still going straight. Oh. Yeah, have a good one. Pardon me, I'm laughing because I saw the red light, so I came to a stop. And I was just looking around, blah, 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 and then I saw the go sign was still counting down, and I was like, oh wait, I could go. And the lady next to me, she was like, yeah, same thought. Had the same thing going on. I stopped, which means that she stopped because I saw her stop. And then she realized she could go. That was funny. Yeah, again, I'm having a slow day. Well, I was just about to say there's nobody coming, so I'll go, but then this car was coming. Nobody coming now. And it is one way. This is where they were doing the march yesterday, I think. Whatever march that was. Hopefully it was a anti-white supremacist Charlie Kirk walk. But who knows? Diamond Cabaret, that is an adult club, I guess is the most politically correct way to say that. I went there a long time ago. I'm not a big fan of strip clubs. Don't get me wrong, I like naked women as much as the next hetero dude. But, yeah, I don't want to have to pay to see it. I'm a little bit too cheap for that. Especially when there's an internet, or just learn how to talk to women. Learn how to talk to women. Lots of them will get naked for you. I tell that to younger dudes. And it's not this alpha man BS that you see some of these guys trying. For the record, Denver Fire Headquarters. All right. I mean, I knew the station was here, but I didn't realize it was the headquarters. So here's Spear. Let's see if we can find. Yep, there's a down ramp right there too. So, and there's a broom right down the ground. That guy's got his blinker on, but he's not going, so I don't know what his deal is. Guy over my shoulder here. Here he goes. So he waited for my light to say it's safe to go before he decided to turn. Does that make sense? Yeah, let's wait for it to be okay for pedestrians to go. That's the Performing Arts Center right there with all the angles. Ah, shoot, I'm on the wrong side. Oh no, it's still the same side up there. Oh, this is exactly where we cross. Okay. Get to the bicycle side. Like where he's at. And you got people down here just chilling next to the river. That's what I mean. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Denver's a very outdoors, Coloradans are very outdoorsy people. Sure, you have your indoor people, and I know a lot of them. The kind that only go outside because the HOA makes them mow their lawns. But by and large, yeah, we're an outdoorsy people. Light's great though. I should have brought the other camera. Today's Sunday. Maybe I will later. I don't think I'm gonna get this same light though. We'll see. But maybe if I remember later, I'll bring the other camera. What if people would pay for that? I just saw a little mural thing on the wall here. It was a triangular character laying in a hammock. And I was just wondering, like, I wonder if people, you know how like people go to a mall or whatever, they'll go to their office lobby and pay to sit in the massage chair for, 10 or 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever. But you pay by the minute. I wonder if people would pay, like, if you set up like a bunch of hammocks, like comfortable hammocks, and let people come relax in a hammock, like on their lunch breaks or something. I mean, I'd like to, if I was going to do something like that, I'd rather have like a piece of property where you can plant some trees and stuff and have that old school, just laying in the forest vibe. Yeah, that was actually one of the things that woke me up this morning. I don't know if you could hear the emergency vehicle. But while no emergency vehicle woke me up this morning, there was some people in the front of my building, and the unit that I'm renting faces out the front. But there were some people in the front of my building that were screaming and arguing at each other this morning about how they're going to beat each other's butts, but not so politely. And I was like, really? Like this early in the morning? I understand, like, knowing the place that I live, knowing the amount of mental illness that is there, knowing the amount of drug use that is there, I expect that in the evenings when people are drugged up. Maybe they're mixing drugs. Maybe they're having a caffeine fit, because there are some people in the building that are, like, there's this one dude, I don't know if he's a veteran or not, but he seems to hang out with other veterans a lot. Not people I hang out with, because they're all smokers, and I don't really hang out in the smoking section that much. Because I'm not a smoker, if you didn't pick up on that. But, yeah, I've seen this guy. He's always hanging out with the veterans, so I don't know if, like the ones I do know, so I don't know if he's a veteran or not. But he, so incredibly poor. I don't even know if he knows how to shower, because he never looks like he just showered. And I know for a fact the unit he's renting has a shower, because they all do. So I don't know what his deal is, but I've literally seen him going through the butt cans and going through garbage cans, trying to find a cigarette with any bit of tobacco left on him. And I'm like, really, dude? Like, I've seen that kind of thing, but it was when I was in the military. Like, I knew a couple of guys in the military that sent money home, or they bought cars they couldn't afford, or, they had to pay alimony or whatever. So every time they got a paycheck, at the end of the month, they only had like $50 to $150 a month to their name. These are the kind of people that stay in the barracks. They don't go anywhere. They don't do anything. They're just constantly... Sorry, I'm looking at the sidewalk to see if I need to go down here or if I need to wait. I'm going to go straight first, but I think I'm going to go down here. But, yeah, I knew guys, yeah, they, like I said, some people would send money home. They wouldn't have any money at the end of the month. Or not much. They keep a token amount so they could buy, sodas or cigarettes or something once in a while. Hi, puppies. But he, I'm going to pass you on your left real quick. Hey, puppy, what's up? But yeah, I knew guys like that, and I haven't seen anything like that since then, because I moved to Colorado and I've always lived in upper middle class neighborhoods, at least. Hi, puppy, what's up? Oh yeah, so vicious. I'm gonna pass you guys real quick. Excuse me. But yeah, so it was an eye-opener for me to see that again at my age now when I saw it, 30 years ago. It was very eye-opening, and I'm like, at this point, why don't you just stop smoking? Now, yes, I know smoking's an addiction. I know it's hard for people to quit, blah, blah, blah. But if you can't afford it, why are you trying to do it? Hey, teeny weeny puppy. Just like anything else. Like, I don't collect, sports cars because I can't afford it. So, I don't go out to bars and stuff in the evening most months because I just don't want to waste the money on alcohol. My DSLR is, excuse me, hey puppy. My DSLR is, 13 years old, 14 years old? And I don't even, I can't even, I don't upgrade it because it still takes perfectly fine photos. And I can't afford the $2,000 on a new camera. Hey puppy, what's up? I may try, if I don't spend it on anything else, I may try to hold off like a Black Friday sale and see if I get an upgraded camera. Because 15 years, 14 years is a reasonable amount of time. The problem is I keep waiting for my camera manufacturer to come out with a new model because the models they have right now are all a couple of years old. So if you spend money on a brand new camera right now, you're getting, 5-year-old technology. That's my problem. Not that I want, my camera manufacturer to figure out how to put AI in everything. Because honestly, we don't need AI in everything. You're taking away the people's ability to think, ability to reason, ability to critically analyze, and replacing it with, just having people train your computers for you. And it's really annoying because, like even the other night, when we were setting up for my friend's show. Oh, I forgot that was still happening today. I think it ends at 5, so maybe I'll run out to his house later. But I was helping them set up, it was Unite for Peace weekend. So, he is one of the organizers, and it's a global online show with music and interviews and discussions about the importance of peace and the benefits of peace and blah blah blah. Well, he asked me to come over and help set up because I have cameras, and he's like, can we use any of your cameras for my show? And I was like, well, sadly my DSLR apparently does not allow live streaming, which I wasn't sure. I'd never tried it. I just, whenever I need to live stream or, Zoom or whatever, I just use the camera that's built into my laptop. I even had somebody give me a 4K camera, web camera, and I turned around and, donated it because I'm like, I don't have any reason for this. I just use the one on the camera. And apparently I can use my GoPro, but the last GoPro I have, which I don't use that much, and it's not because I don't want to use it, it's because one, there's a couple of technical restrictions, and I'll get into that here in a second, but two, I really hate editing videos, and with the GoPro you have to get the images off, then you have to edit them, and then you have to upload them, and I'm like, I'd rather just hit upload from my phone, which is why I record a lot of these from my phone. But yeah, the limitations are, in order to plug a microphone in, you have to have, because my GoPro is the Hero 7 Black, you have to have an external microphone adapter, which I do not have. Because a few times I have used it for vlogging, I just use the built-in microphones, which work fine, if you're within, up to, I think, 5 or 6 feet. Which is, If you're hand holding it, that's all you need. But apparently you also need a separate plug adapter to do live streaming with it, which I also do not own. Everybody on YouTube, every website I found said you need an adapter. And I'm like, okay. Now, the one everybody recommended was $100. It's on $100 on Amazon. And supposedly it's like the name brand in this adapter. I found some other ones that were like, half the price. And for as much as I live stream, which is almost never, I didn't really care. So, but I didn't buy one. My friend was like, no. Because I told him, I said, well, if I order within the next hour, we can definitely get it by tomorrow morning. In which case we can use this. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, I'll buy it and then, we can just return it later. What do we do about microphones? And I was like, well, there's the other problem. Is it uses the same plug for the microphone adapter and for the camera, the live stream adapter. And you can only use one at a time. And he's like, oh. And I'm like, yeah. Now, if you were running it through a computer, you could plug a microphone into a computer or something, but he was... excuse me. I had wireless lavalier mics, which worked very well. And we didn't have a splitter to plug two mics into a laptop so that he and his daughter could both be mic'd up at the same time. So, yeah. We ended up going with his iPhone 16 or whatever as the camera, using my lavalier mics, which worked out great. Worked out perfectly fine. Except he was using his camera and the lavalier mics for the video production, like the live stream. But he was using his wife's phone and ear pods to talk to the production team on the other line. So basically had two calls, had one phone set up to do a Zoom call. The other phone was set up, The other phone was set up to as a back line to production. Well, because he was using the AirPods on phone B, the production phone, not the live stream phone, but the production phone. Live stream phone will be phone A, production phone will be phone B. So because he was talking to the production team on the background on phone B with the earbuds, and he left the Bluetooth on phone A, the live stream phone, the earbuds kept trying to connect to his phone. Like they kept bouncing back and forth. The Bluetooth kept bouncing back and forth trying to connect. And even though we had the receiver for my wireless lavalier mics plugged into his phone, and it kept trying to turn off or circumvent the lavalier mics. So there were some technical difficulties. We only found out because we tested the hell out of everything. We tested everything the day before. Made sure my lavalier mics worked with his phone. Made sure they worked up to at least 45 feet away, which they do. I think they go up to 100 feet. Made sure the sound was good. We practiced setting up a phone with Zoom and then using the lavalier mics, making sure Zoom could hear through the mics, blah, blah, blah. We did everything. And then fast forward. Oh, sorry, I was looking behind me to see if anybody was coming up. Fast forward, we have all these technical issues where nobody can hear. Nobody in the Zoom broadcast could hear. Because it was being recorded in Zoom and broadcast out on YouTube, Facebook Live, X Spaces, Instagram Reels, all that fun stuff. So yeah, very, very annoying. And the only reason we found out was because he started getting a notification in his ear. Hey puppy, what's up? That the earbuds were, or the iBuds or whatever they're called, were, the battery was dying. So he took them out to recharge them, put them in the case and recharge them. And as soon as he put them in the case to recharge them, the audio on the Zoom call started working flawlessly. So, yeah. Yeah, turns out that was an issue. And I told him, I was like, oh yeah, we need to turn the Bluetooth off on your phone because my lavalier mics, they plug in with a physical receiver. We don't have to worry about your Bluetooth. He goes, oh no, I'm not touching anything else. We don't need any more technical difficulties. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah, so once we got that squared away, the show went flawlessly, which was great. But it was a 48-hour show, and it ends today at 5. Unite for Peace. With the hashtag Unite number 4 Peace, and the hashtag Make Peace Trend. So, you guys won't listen to this before that, but you can go back on any of the major social medias and see that hashtag, hopefully. But it was a really good show. If you're interested in geopolitics and, the resolution of strife around the world. I was kind of annoyed at one guy. My friend said, he said he was a friend of his. They've worked together in the past on other projects, but he was a doctor. Can't remember what his name was, but PhD doctor. And he spoke about peace and why we need peace and blah, blah, blah. Which I was all about, PhD. One has to assume they know what they're talking about, at least to the ability to defend it. Okay, we're still at 2, but it's okay. Like I said, we're at 9 miles. It'll be 11 miles by the time we get back. Oops, I'm gonna pass you on your left. But okay, cool. But yeah, he's doing that thing today. Maybe I'll go over to his house later, help him finish up. Because I know he was stressing out big time. But I don't know if he just doesn't handle stress well, or if he's one of those guys that he's confident in his abilities. I know that. But maybe he's like one of those guys that just worries even though he's confident in what he's doing. Like he, lets his anxiety get to him. While I'm the exact opposite. Like, I'm never confident in what I'm doing, but I don't let anxiety take control either. I have to stop myself and work through it. Yeah, I didn't know what to call, like, my own personality until I read about something called imposter syndrome. Once I read about it, it's just an article. It was fed to me by, if you remember, Google Reader. It was fed to me by an RSS reader, and I was like, I was like, oh, what's imposter syndrome? And I started reading about it, and I'm like, holy crap, that describes me to the T. Like, I never think I'm good enough. People always think I'm good enough, but, like even my friend, like, the one whose husband I was just talking about, she keeps trying to tell me how smart I am, and I'm like, I don't believe it. And if I'm that smart, and I actually told her this one time, she goes, but you're really smart. Like, you fully capable of X, Y, and Z, and, you could probably do very well, in anything you do. And I was like, you think I'm smart? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, then how dumb is everybody else? Like, if, that was my first thought, was like, if I'm considered smart, how bad is everybody else? Like, it's one of those things, like, we all see in others what we see in ourselves. Okay? So, for example, if you think everybody's a liar, there's a very good chance you recognize in yourself that you're a liar. So you just assume that everybody else is a liar because you're a liar. If you're a cheater, you assume everybody else is a cheater because you're a cheater, and we always see in everybody else what we see in ourselves. I see everybody else as fundamentally nice, fundamentally helpful, and fundamentally a good person. I see no reason why anybody would ever need to lie to me. I don't see people as liars. I know people lie. Don't get me wrong. I understand that people lie, but I don't understand why people would need to lie. So yeah, you know, and that's just, I mean, it's who I am. It's how I think about myself. Like, you know, I don't lie, so I don't assume anybody else lies. Now, I might spin it a little bit, but I don't lie. And what do I mean by spin it? I mean, just, you know, use a little bit of tact and not be so blunt. Really depends on context of the conversation. Because 9 times out of 10, I don't care about being blunt. Anybody that knows me knows that. But sometimes, you know, somebody nice or somebody new, or you're trying to make a good impression, and so you try to spin it a little bit softer than just being blunt. For example, you know, that old it's not a parable, it's not a story, it's not a lesson, but that old, you know, thing about where, you know, the trap of, you know, does my butt look big? Does these jeans make my butt look big? Like, you can say yes, and that would be blunt. But you don't say yes, that would be blunt, because you know it's going to hurt her feelings. You say, maybe something like, you know, it makes your butt look amazing. You know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I might do something like that, but I'm not going to see the clouds are rolling in too. That's what I mean. Like, it really depends on what the weather does later on, if I get another ride in or if I take the camera out. I can't even remember what I was talking about or what point I was trying to get to. That's how bad of a night's sleep and how crappy of a morning I've had so far. Like I said, forgot to turn the heater down or turn the cooktop down when I was cooking. Left myself a mess. Almost set off a fire alarm. Or I guess I did set it off, but maybe it was a pre-alarm, like, you know, hey, you're at risk here. I don't know. Because nobody ever showed up again. So nobody ever called and said, hey, are you okay? I expected, like I've said, the building is manned 24/7. I fully expected somebody from the building to come knock on the door and be like, is everything okay? Like, you know, we saw on the security monitor that the fire alarm went off in here. But yeah, nothing happened. Whew. Yeah, so I don't really have anything else to say, so I might just cut this off because we're coming up to the point where I cut it off anyway. Not really thinking 100% so far, which is fine. We all need days like this. It's the kind of day where normally if I could, I'd just open a book and read it, but I don't have any books. But I'm also not thinking straight and clearly. Like, I have to wonder if this is what other people think like, where it's just like so slow and you don't get to the conclusions very quickly, and you can't articulately express yourself. But because I know a lot of people who don't seem to be like on par, like, you know, you can literally count the seconds, you know, while they try to figure something out that you got before the sentence was finished. Does that make sense? So, but anywho, I'm gonna let me go. I'll try and see if I do something later today. If I do, you know, obviously you guys will come along. If I don't, well, we'll see you tomorrow.